Morning, folks. It's a late October morning up at the lake, and it's fairly cold, just about zero. And so we've got a fire going in the cabin here, and I thought I would give a bit of an update on the build project that so far has seen very little build. However, we are busy in other areas. Cart before the horse areas. So we've talked about how we purchased a 1956 QD series Johnson to power our little hydro that we're planning on building, and that is currently undergoing some stripping and refinishing, and has had some ignition parts and carburetor work already done on the motor, and should be a good runner for us, and not a bad size for a first little hydro. So we've picked up some other parts as well. We've got a few gauges to show you. So here's the first one. Most of you will probably recognize this as an Airguide unit, Airguide speedometer. It's probably 40 to 50 years old. You can see it's somewhat pitted on the bezel. Boy, these things are heavy. They don't make them like this anymore. And this is the unit that I recall being in my parents' boat when I was a kid in the mid to late 60s. So I spent a lot of time watching that needle go around, and I thought it would be kind of cool to have it in our little retro boat as well. The thing is, of course, a powered or the needle moves by air pressure coming up from a pitot tube off the back of the boat, and so we'll have to get that hose and then the appropriate tube and fixture for the back. Anyway, so there's our speedometer. Next item, which is kind of a cool thing, is an Airguide again, but this time a compass. So you can see it's in better condition. This I think is new old stock. It came in a box, dusty box. I don't think it's ever been actually put in a boat. So there is an issue with this in that you can see the fluid has depleted somewhat. There's a bubble in there. It still works. It'll point to magnetic north, but the damping action isn't quite what it could be. And so we're gonna have to investigate what kind of oil Airguide used and fill that. I'm assuming we can fill it. So that'll be gauge number 2, or instrument number 2. And then the one that really has me kind of pumped is this guy here, a tachometer, 0 to 6,000 RPM tachometer. It's the head unit for the model 653, I believe, Airguide tachometer. And so what's good about that is it is designed for a magneto-fired engine, 2-cycle, 2-cylinder. You can see the needle moves there. It's got a nice dampened action. The challenge with this one is that these actually had a companion pulse module or transmitter that did the work of deciphering or turning the pulses from the magneto into something that the unit here could provide a steady state read. I've also discovered that those things are pretty rare, so I'm not quite sure what to do about that. I've seen on the internet where at least one guy, built his own circuit board to do that pulse translation for the tachometer. That's a bit beyond me, but maybe I could figure that out. The other thing is I've spent a little bit of time lurking on various sites from the put up by the hot rod community, and those are a bunch of inventive guys, and a couple of them have used these tachometers in their hot rods and talk about aftermarket pulse modules that come from Autometer and the like. So There's a little more experimenting work to do on this one, but I really hope I can get it going because I think that's pretty cool. There is an issue with this. I couldn't tell in the pictures before I bought it that were posted that the card in here is bent slightly. As you get down around the 210 mark, it actually is pushed back into the housing. And the needle has been bent forward somehow. I don't know what the hell happened to this thing, but I'm hoping maybe I can get it apart and fix that. Like I said, the needle seems to move, doesn't get stuck, but it'd be nice if the face was fixed. Both the tachometer and the compass have internal lights. The speedometer does not. But anyway, I thought, my son and I thought that would make kind of a cool trio of gauges and instruments for a binnacle or something maybe we could put in front of the steering wheel. So anyway, that's all for now. Continue to collect parts, bits and pieces, and of course the plans to build this thing. And hopefully we can get some progress on the actual boat before spring. So in the meantime, stay warm, everyone, and we will talk to you when we've got more to report.